Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It is so helpful. So today I want to talk about just 5 of the most random and kind of oddball things in my gaming collection. Just interesting odds and ends. I was just going through, just sort of straightening things up, and it just occurred to me, I've got some kind of strange things I might like to show you guys. But very briefly, I got exciting news. NES Omnibus Volume 1, you guys know about it. Well, Volume 2, I do have a release date now. It's October 28th, and I've got a cover design. I think it looks pretty cool with the dog bone controller and the gold trim and everything. I think it looks awesome. Really excited about this, and I will put a link in the description of this video where you can pre-order your copy. Very simple to do, and with more information about the book. But let's get to it. 5 of just kind of strange and oddball items in my game room. Just an unscripted, just kind of a fun video I wanted to put together for you guys. Number 5, the top of a wood grain design Atari 2600 console. It's just, why is this strange? Well, it's not attached to the rest of the system for one thing, and it's signed by Joe DeCoeur, who was one of the architects of the original Atari VCS/Atari 2600 console. Pretty cool, right? Jeff Cooper, a friend of mine, you guys might remember him from the digital press days. He would write for the fanzines. And a good friend of mine, at one point, he had the largest video game collection in Oklahoma, but he's moved up to Massachusetts since then, taking a new job and everything. He was a cool guy that I would stay with when I would do the Oklahoma Video Game Expo. But all that's long gone. But anyway, Jeff's still a great guy, remains a good friend, but he had a few of these and he was just giving them away. So I just wonder, it's cool that it's autographed. It's a neat display piece if you can find a way to display it, but I just wonder why, you know, with these shells. Okay, so if the 2600 was broken, I understand that, that's fine, maybe unrepairable, but why take this off of it? It seems like it might be better displayed just as the whole system signed. Maybe because it could be light, you could put it on a wall or something. Anyway, kind of random, but pretty cool, I guess. Neat. I'm glad he gave it to me, though. It's kind of an interesting relic here. So that's number 5 of just kind of oddball things in my collection. Number 4, the Dreamcast Junkyard, the Ultimate Collector's Guide. This is basically, there's no photos or anything. It's just basically a seemingly comprehensive book about Dreamcast games with checklists. Looks like it's got Japanese releases, foreign releases. Looks very comprehensive, just listing the games. And there's a little information about some of them. And what makes this strange is this was actually taken off the market. The person who put this book together messaged me and asked me if I'd like a copy. And then he said Sega was taking it, you know, forcing it off the market where he could no longer sell it, which I thought was kind of interesting. You know, there are definitely books on specific consoles that companies haven't had a problem with. But for some reason, whatever reason, he said that Sega forced this off the market. So whatever the case, it's pretty rare, I guess, since probably not many printed up. There is a website you can still go to, the dreamcastjunkyard.co.uk. So check it out. I guess maybe the information from this book is on that website. I haven't really investigated it, but just kind of a strange book in retro gaming history because it is off the market now very quickly. I don't think he printed a ton of them. And I'm not 100% sure why Sega would go after this kind of project when, you know, there's other, I know there's a specific Sega Master System encyclopedia that doesn't seem to be any problem with. And there's other books on Sega. Anyway, that's number 4. Sega Dreamcast. It's thinking. Number 3, Keith Apicary. Perhaps you guys have heard of him. He, I haven't seen him in a convention in a couple of years. Well, with COVID, no conventions in the last year, hardly at all. But in the couple of years leading up to that, I haven't seen him really around much. I don't know what he's doing. He is kind of an interesting guy. Check out that face. He's got a lot of really funny videos on YouTube where he's toting around a Sega Justifier gun and pointing it at people, and he's doing all these jackass style stunts, and he's really a funny guy. Now, I don't typically like the necessarily the public humor that's real jackassy and, you know, where he's getting in people's business or disrupting people's businesses. It's just, those kind of people get on my nerves, but for some reason, Keith Apicary is hilarious. And I saw him at the Screw Attack gaming convention, a couple of those back in the day, along with maybe one other two conventions. And at Screw Attack, he was leading a parade of people around the convention center, you know, doing his Neo Geo song, and that was pretty funny. And he's just a character in general. And he's got a lot of videos on YouTube, and this Talking Classics, I believe is how he says it. And he wears video game apparel frequently, you know, controllers and things on him. He's just a funny guy. I think he's hilarious. So this DVD that I actually got signed at a show, which is pretty cool. It says, "Dear Ryan, the end. Keith Apicary. Ryan's my son." So this actually belongs to my son Ryan. So Ryan, if you happen to be watching this, I owe you this DVD. I do have my own unsigned copy that I got at a used bookstore, which was really random too, because it was a local bookstore, and the Screw Attack convention was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, you know, not completely out of the question, but kind of an oddball pickup. Anyway, number 3, my Keith Apicary Talking Classics DVD, number 1. It is oddball in the sense that Keith Apicary is odd, but hilarious. Number 2. Now this is really cool. When I go to bookstores, used bookstores, a lot of times I'll just look in just sort of the general kids area, like at chapter books, because back in the 80s and into the 90s, video game, you know, books occasionally would have a video game theme, you know, with the video craze and everything. Video Fever. Check it out. These kids are playing Battle of Zorn on some kind of generic looking cartridge-based console. Pretty cool. And the synopsis is, Bobby loves to play Super Zorn on his video game. Now that says Battle of Zorn. Maybe that's a stage within the game or a sequel or something. But Bobby loves to play Super Zorn on his video game screen in his room. His video game screen. It looks like a TV to me. A TV does have a screen, but that's just kind of a funny way to put it. He plays it every day. Sometimes he doesn't even finish his homework. Behind his closed bedroom door, Bobby shoots super asteroids. He rescues a girl from a Zorn gnome. He crosses a water maze without falling in and getting eaten by Zorn fish. Todd and Allison like to play Super Zorn with Bobby too. They think the game is fun, exciting, and suspenseful. That is, until the day they fight a battle they'll never forget and pass game level number 4, the Battle of Zorn. Ah, that's game level number 4, the Battle of Zorn. Interesting. This was published by Willow Wisp Press, and it was written by Lurleen McDaniel, illustrated by Don Robison. Got to show you an illustration or two. There you go. As you can see, it's extremely sophisticated artwork. But there you go. Check that out. Gotta love it. Ernest Cline, Look Out. This was published. Interesting here. Little personal stuff there. Chris Oldham used to own this. It was published in 1983. And it says this book is dedicated to Monty Wilson III, one of the great warriors. So wherever you are, Monty Wilson III, I have the book that is dedicated to you. Very cool. Video Fever. Maybe I'll even read this one day. Anyway, kind of cool. I love this quirky oddball stuff in my collection. Number 1. So that was number 2. The number 1 kind of quirkiest thing in my collection is a semi-mainstream release, I suppose, but it's kind of oddball to me because I don't really collect imports much, and it's not because I don't, you know, I don't reject them or think they're lame. I think I've seen some really cool import stuff that I'd love to have. I just don't seem to have time for it, or just in the money, or, you know, I've got a lot wrapped up in, you know, US releases and with the books and everything. But my nephew Chris, my beloved nephew Chris, who lives in Okinawa, Japan, he brought me this really cool FC Home 88, a Famicom clone. Really, really cool. And I've got the system out here. It's really, really light. I can't imagine how durable this would be, but it does play Famicom games. Really cool. It's got the cartridge slot there and the power and reset button. And the controller has, there's a controller there with a slow button. if you want to slow down your game or whatever. Pretty cool. And it's got 88 built-in games, including such titles as Bear vs. Thief. Love that title. Goblet Tower. Now, most of these games appear to be knockoffs of NES games or arcade games or whatever. And there's something called Aethercopter, A-E-T-H-E-R, Slap Goblin.
That's a new band name, I call it.
Cute Fish. Let's see. Roadman. Cool Baby. Kicking Now. Perhaps some translation issues here, but pretty funny. Oh, and Final Fighter, as in Final Fight. They just changed it to Final Fighter. Not even sure what kind of game that is. Maybe I'll do a gameplay video with this system sometime. That'd be pretty fun. But anyway, the FC Home 88 is the #1 quirkiest, most oddball item in my collection because I don't typically do imports, and I love some of the quirky and interesting names of the games on here. 88 built-in games, plus a slot for playing Famicom games, which, as you guys know, is the Japanese, the original NES, the Japan version. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments, what is the quirkiest, most oddball item in your collection? I would love to hear about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you want to support my channel and my writing career and all that good stuff, you can check me out on Patreon. Patrons are getting good stuff all the time. I update my Patreon page continually. I think I have one of the cooler Patreon pages out there among retro gamers, just because I add to it a lot. You get behind the scenes photos, you get exclusive articles, I just did a convention report on the DFW Toy Expo with my pickups, exclusive to Patreon. You can get a PDF of the NES Omnibus Volume 1 and a bunch of other cool stuff. You'll also get exclusive videos and other exclusive content. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I will talk to you in another video.